This is the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe Limited, and in this video, we'll take a look at it inside and out. My name is Joko, and welcome to Urban Auto Adventures. If you like these types of videos, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help out the channel quite a bit. Now back to the 2024 Santa Fe. Talk about a huge facelift. This is Hyundai's brand new Santa Fe design. The previous Santa Fe models were kind of like a hybrid design between the Tucson and the Palisade, whereas this Santa Fe design brings a brand new look to the Hyundai vehicle lineup. As you can see, we kind of have a very boxy design, very boxy style to the overall shape and looks of the new Santa Fe. And a lot of people have mentioned similarities with a certain other car maker that I'm not really going to go into right now because I feel like this deserves all the attention that it gets. Starting off with our hood, we have a very elegant hood design with our Hyundai emblem right here in the center. As you can see, our entire front grille has also been redesigned. There is nothing similar to the previous models as well. We have LED headlights with our LED daylight running lights. The LED daylight running lights also resemble the letter H, as you can see here on both sides. And we have a daylight running light going through the entire width of the front grille. Moving further down, we have our vents that also end up here in the tire compartment. Moving on, we have also two vents here in the front of the vehicle that are currently closed, but whenever the vehicle is running and the engine compartment or the engine needs more air, these will open up. Whenever it's turned off, they will close down to protect the interior of the engine bay compartment. We also have a front facing camera right here, more proximity sensors on our front bumper, as well as a very stylish and elegant looking front spoiler. And a huge thank you to Darcy Hyundai here in Joliet, Illinois for lending me one of their cars so I can do a walk around video. I'll put a link to their website down in the description if you want to check them out. Now back to the video. The 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe has also improved in its size. It's about 2 inches longer than the previous year model at 190 inches in length, 75 inches wide, and about 2.5 inches taller than the previous year model at 70 inches right now, with 7 inches in ground clearance, which is about 1.5 inches more than last year's model. Looking at it from the side, if you didn't already know, now you know. The Santa Fe brought back their third row seats in their brand new 2024 Santa Fe models. As you can see, there's a lot of straight lines on the design of this Santa Fe model, which also give it a very nice and elegant look. Starting off with our wheels, we have 20-inch wheels here in the front and in the back with disc brakes in the front and in the back. We have a very nice black colored trim on the bottom of the car to give it a little bit of a rugged look, but then again we also have a chrome trim here on the bottom of the doors to add to that elegance as well. We have our Santa Fe insignia right here on the side of the fender. Moving on to our side view mirrors. Our side view mirrors have this very beautiful and simplistic design to them. We have a two-tone color design, black on the bottom and the body color on top, with an LED strip for a turn signal, a backup camera. They have blind spot detection, are heated, and are power folding as well. The door handles are the same color as our body, and yet again we see that straight line design of our door handles as well. Moving further up, we can see that our windows have a matte finish trim on the top and on the bottom here. And last but not least, we have blacked out roof rails here on the top for if you want to, put some things on the top and tie them down. But if we move towards the back of the vehicle, the boxy and straight line design becomes more apparent. And this is where I personally have a beef with Hyundai and their designer of the rear end of the new Santa Fe. I feel like they could have done a much better job than what we have here, because I feel like the rear end of the car doesn't really flow with the front end of the car. But maybe that's just me. Some people like this design. I personally don't. But moving on with our video, we have a very sportish spoiler here on top, protruding a little bit above our trunk space with a LED brake light right here. Hidden underneath the spoiler, we have our rear window wiper. We also have a huge rear window with the Hyundai logo right here. The Santa Fe encryption throughout the entire width of the lift gates. We have a backup camera right here, our H-track emblem right here, which stands for the all-wheel drive of this particular vehicle. And we have the straight line design of our LED taillights, which are also similarly designed like our headlights that we've seen before. The taillight continues here throughout the side of the car onto our fender as well. Moving on, we have more proximity sensors on our rear bumper, as well as a very elegantly styled rear spoiler with a very sportish exhaust pipe coming out from this side. If you want to open up the liftgate, it's fairly simple. All you do is you push on the rubberized button that is down here. And as you can see, we have an automatic liftgate, which is very convenient. Lo and behold, we can have access to our trunk space and our third row seats here, as you can see as well. Now with the third row seats up, you don't have a lot of space here, maybe for a few groceries, but not a ton of space, if you want to do longer trips with the family. You still get a cover, and if you lift this is where you can find your privacy cover for your trunk and a compartment for additional storage. Your spare tire is actually located right here underneath behind the rear bumper. Moving on, if you want to lower the third row seats, you can actually do that from back here, and all you do is you simply pull on the straps. It will disengage the seat and you just push it forward. Same with this side. Now you have even more room to work with, and if you want to plan longer trips with the family as well. Additionally, you also get a 12-volt outlet on the driver's side and a 115-volt house outlet on the passenger side, which is very convenient if you want to plug in like a portable fridge or something else. If this space is not enough, what you can do is you can also lower the second row seats, and you can do that from the passenger side by pushing on these two buttons here. And now you have this huge space to load even longer and larger, wider items if you want as well. Now, if you want to raise up the seats again, you cannot do it from back here. You have to go around for the second row, but it's fairly simple. You lift the lever and you raise the seat in its position. Do the same on this side, lever, seat. And if you want to raise up the third row seats, you can do that from here by simply pulling on this strap. Adjusting it. Raise the headrest, as simple as that. And if you want to close the liftgate, all you do is you push on the liftgate button right here, and we have an automatic liftgate. Nice. The 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe also comes in a updated engine style. We have a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine in combination with the 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission, and the all-wheel drive that this particular model comes in puts out 281 horsepower or 311 pound-feet of torque. Now what you also want to know is where you put your windshield washer fluid, and it's sitting right here to the front of the engine bay compartment. So you got to be careful when you put windshield washer fluid so you don't spill anything on your engine. Sitting on the inside of the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe, I must say that the outside is not the only thing that got a complete overhaul, but the interior as well. This actually is a very elegant, very stylish, and very modern approach to an interior design of a vehicle. We have a very nice combination of materials. Overall, the looks and feels of everything is just luxurious. We have a complete redesign also of our steering wheel with our buttons. We have a nice combination of soft touch plastic here on our dashboard, leather, we have wood trim, also this huge screen here in front of us, which give it this very modern and futuristic aspect as well. In addition to that, the Santa Fe also has a ton of safety and convenience features that have been added to this model that we didn't have in previous models. So without further ado, let's jump right into them and take a look at a few of them. Starting off with our passenger side, we have a very nice and new design even to our glove box compartment. Usually the opening lever for the glove box compartment sits here in the front and in the center, and you have to pull up. Now we have a very nice pull down lever here sitting right on top of the glove box compartment. Anyway, we have a medium-sized glove box compartment that can fit your owner's manual, a couple pairs of sunglasses or whatever you want. If you close that up, right above it, you get a little bit of a deeper shelf storage compartment as well, with a rubberized textured material here on the bottom to prevent stuff from moving around when you're driving down the highway. Right above that, if you push this button, you get another storage compartment right here with the same textured and rubberized interior to again prevent things from rattling while you're driving. Moving towards our center, we have this huge screen which spans from the center console to our driver's side. It's not an entire screen, it's actually divided into two parts. We have our infotainment system as well as our instrument cluster right here for our driver. We have a 12.3-inch infotainment system which also features wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Moving further down, we have our engine start and stop button right here. A very nice and elegant design of our climate vents here. Right below that, we have physical buttons to control some of the other infotainment features. This is where you can control your maps, your radio, and this is also we can access your setup in the infotainment system. But you can also customize a button, which is this star right here, to, you know, whenever you push it, to activate whatever you want based on the infotainment system menu. Moving further down, we have our touchscreen LCD display here, which is our climate control unit. You also get two physical knobs here on the sides to increase and decrease your climate temperature, with a smaller screen on the inside to indicate the temperature as well. Below the climate control is where you can find some of your other convenience features, which are physical buttons, and that is very cool. This is where you can find your auto hold, your drive mode selector, your four-wheel lock, as well as your engine idle auto start and stop, hill descent assist. You can access your cameras, and you can turn off your parking sensors here if you want as well. Moving further down, we have our center console, and we have a revamped look of our center console as well. First of all, you get wireless phone charging right here, as well as another phone storage here on this side as well. You get two USB-C charging ports, as well as NFC connection right here with your phone as well. You can actually disinfect your phone screen, your wallet, your keys, anything small that can pretty much fit in this compartment right there that we talked about previously. All you do is simply put it in there, close it, and you push on the UVC light button right here, and it will actually disinfect it. But keep in mind, it won't remove the smudges. Next, we have two cup holders, a little bit of storage right here, with a very comfortable armrest. If you open up the armrest, you get even more storage inside the armrest in the form of a tray. And if you remove the tray, you get an even deeper storage compartment down here that you can store quite a few items actually. And I must say, this is really deep. In addition to that, you get even more storage inside the door in the form of this space here in the handle, more bottle compartments here inside the door, as well as this huge compartment right here below the center console with a 12-volt outlet right here as well. For our driver, we have a 12.3-inch in diagonal digital instrument cluster. We have this very nice and soft leather heated steering wheel with paddle shifters, physical buttons on the front of the steering wheel to control some of the other infotainment system and convenience features, such as your adaptive cruise control, highway driving assist, and some of the other infotainment features of your Santa Fe. Next, this huge lever here to the side behind the steering wheel is your gear selector, and you do not pull it up or down, you simply actually twist it left and right, and you push for park. On the left hand side behind your steering wheel, you have your lever with your light control switch, and you also have a console here with a few other convenience features. This is where you can find your electronic parking brake, your brightness adjustment for your dashboard, as well as your liftgate opener and traction control where you can turn it on and off. Next, we have our seats, and we have these very elegantly designed vented and heated perforated leather seats with the H lettering here engraved into the seats as well. They are power adjusted. We have 4-way power lumbar in our driver with memory for up to 2 people, no memory for our passenger. In addition to that, since this is the limited version of the Santa Fe lineup, you also get ambient lighting throughout the entire interior. You get a premium Bose sound system with speakers throughout the entire car, a manually adjustable sunshade with a tilted and sliding moonroof, as well as a electronically adjusted sunshade with a sunroof for the second and third row seaters. Nice. Sitting in the second row of the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe, you are actually just as comfortable as you are as sitting in the first or the front row. One of the differences between the limited and the calligraphy trim level is that the calligraphy actually gets 2 captain chairs here in the second row, whereas all the lower level trim levels get a bench here in the second row. This is just as comfortable as the captain chairs, and I will show you why. Starting off with space, you get plenty of legroom and plenty of headroom here in the second row. You get storage inside your door, 2 cup holders here, as well as a bottle holder in the door as well. You also get 2 hooks here behind the driver and behind the passenger seat, as well as a plastic cover storage here behind the driver and the passenger seat. Moreover, you get a retractable sunshade here inside the door, which you can put down, or you can put it up and hook it here onto these hooks if you want it. You get LED lights in the back here and 2 USB-C charging ports on both the passenger and the driver's seat as well. In addition to that, something that I haven't seen in any other car that I have reviewed so far is that you have access to the center console or the armrest of the front seats. You can simply push the button and open up the armrest and have access to the interior of it from the back as well. Not only that, but you can actually close it and you can pull out the lower part of the armrest and have access to the deeper compartment of the front storage here as well, or use it as a storage for the back seats. Either way works. Next, moving on to our seats, we have these very nice and comfortable leather seats. Again, they're perforated. We have the H engraved into them, which is very nice. And they're also heated, which is very convenient as well. If you want even more comfort, what you can also do is you can lower the armrest like this. You get an additional 2 cup holders. And if you want even more comfort, you can also recline the seats. Nice. Sitting inside the third row here in the brand new Santa Fe, it's definitely not made for adults because you are kind of sitting in a squatted position. The second row seats are actually higher up than I initially thought, which kind of makes the space here in the back feel a little bit claustrophobic, if you may, and it's definitely not suitable for adults. If it's a kid, you know, for shorter trips might be okay, but for longer trips, I don't think this would feel comfortable. Either way, you get a few amenities here in the back as well. You get 2 cup holders on the side here with a USB-C charging port, and on the passenger side, you actually get to control your own climate here in the back with your own climate control knob, as well as a USB-C charging port, and you have access to the 115 volt house outlet right here. In addition to that, you also get LED lights here in the back as well, and a very good view of the entire sunroof as well as the entire front of the vehicle. Now, if you want to get out and there is nobody sitting in the second row seats, Hyundai have made it very simple for their third row seaters so they don't get forgotten in the third row by putting a button right here on the top of the seats, which if you push it, releases the seat, and now you can exit the vehicle. And if somebody has parked close to you and you cannot get in your car, or you want to park it inside your garage and you have a fairly small garage where it's, you know, hard to get in or out of the vehicle, what you can do is you can move the car from the outside. All you do is you press on the lock and you press and hold to start the car. Once the car has started, on the side of your key fob, you have 3 buttons, one to open up your liftgate and either to move the car forward or back. In this case, we would want to move the car forward so that we don't hit the car in the back. So you push and hold the button. As soon as you release the button, the car will stop. And once the car has moved out enough, you can simply enter the car with your keyless entry and go on with your day. But say you want to park the car and there is not enough room for you to exit once you park, what you can do the same thing, get out of the car, get in the spot where you want it to go, and it can go only straight forward and back, so keep that in mind. Lock it, press and hold to start the car, and then you push on the other button, which will simply reverse the car. You keep an eye out in the back. Of course, the car slows down to make sure that you don't hit anything. As soon as you release the button, the car will stop. And now you push again on the hold button, which will turn off the vehicle. Now keep in mind that the park assist feature is actually proximity dependent, meaning you cannot move the car if you're far away from the vehicle. I believe you have to be within 6 or 7 feet of the vehicle in order to use this feature. But if you're further apart from that, you will not be able to. Let me demonstrate. I will start the car from further out and do the same thing. Even at this distance, the car won't allow me to move it, as you can see from the flashing turn signals. But as soon as we come closer, within 5 to 6 feet, and push the button, the car moves. This is a very good safety feature. And thank you for watching this far. Make sure that you hit the like, share, subscribe button down below if you don't want to miss any future video uploads. For more amazing car videos, hit the thumbnail right there, and I'll see you in our next one. Cheers.